All right, so this is the tour for the University of Texas at Arlington. Now, I'm not starting outside of the campus. I'm actually starting inside of the campus. And for reference, this is the, I guess, the main water fountain, and it's basically the right here is the bridge between one side of the campus, and then it crosses over Cooper Street, and you can access the other side of the campus. But I'll be on that side in another time as I go through this. So, a little bit about the university. So, it's in Arlington, Texas, in the downtown of Arlington. Yeah, so right now, what I'm doing is I'm just on my bike and I'm going to go through around campus, kind of the outskirts, so you can see kind of what it's like on campus, the buildings, kind of where they are. And yeah, so starting off here, so this is in front of the library actually. So this is, I guess, what we'd call the courtyard. And there's the other bridge that crosses you to the other campus. And this building right here to the right is the University Hall. I personally only had finals there, so I don't know too much about the building. But either or, some people might have classes there. And so this is more towards the middle of the campus. This is in front of the library. And the library itself has 6 floors. The first floor they actually just renovated this semester, or more so finished renovating this first semester. The library, the first floor is for studying. They also have a Bagels Bro in the bottom there, and you also have a bank. I think it's Wells Fargo's little ATM there. They have a little patio in the front. People like to study outside when the weather's nice. They have plenty of bike racks. And in the front, same thing in the courtyard. They have picnic style tables and benches. Oh, also the squirrels. You gotta love the squirrels. They're always around. And yeah, so this is going towards the Sear building. We just passed the fountain, and that's the life science building. So the Sear building and the life science building, personally, I only had in the life science building, I had biology courses and I had psychology courses. There are also a couple labs that I had there, so I know that they definitely have labs. As far as floors go, how many floors they have, I think it's 5 or 6. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so again, this is the Sear building, and right here I'm going through the outskirts of it. And what we're seeing right now towards the left side is basically the research side of the building. And now not everyone has access to that side because that's for research, so you kind of not don't have anything to do over there. But either or, so I'm going to be cutting around this corner and going through the back, so you can kind of see where majority of people are going to be parking on campus, and kind of what ways people walk or how they get to the main campus if you're commuting and parking there. Also, I do believe that on campus after 7 they stop monitoring the vehicles to park, so if you don't have a parking pass you can probably park after 7. But yeah, so this is the Sear building, and this is what I would call the back of the Sear building. And again, the building itself, it's relatively new. I believe it is 5 or 6 years. When I was a freshman in 2018, I remember it was new. So I'm not sure though. But yeah, regardless, a beautiful building. The first floor itself, it has a couple, I think it's 2 auditorium style rooms, and these are big rooms. Usually you're gonna have finals there if you're a freshman, because you got a lot of people in the classes, so it needs to accommodate for a big crowd. Right here, a lot of people love to take their senior pictures here because it's nice. It's a nice building. It looks nice. But yeah, so that's pretty much Sear, and same thing applies for the second floor. So there's also designated areas for people to study or just hang out in general. There's also a mini Starbucks in the first floor, and there's also a little convenience store, so you can pick up some treats while you're there. And so now I'm going to make my way back towards campus because, which you'll see in a minute, they're actually making a new building to the side of the Sear building. And originally, that side of the building was actually parking, and you could pay a certain premium because it was closer to campus. It's better than having to walk past the bridge, which you saw behind the Sear. But as far as I know, this is going to be I think, a nursing designated building. I think you're going to have your nursing classes there, and I also think it's going to be for research in nursing too. And aside from that, actually, I think they're converting part of it into a parking lot, but construction started, I think, in fall of 2021. So they might get that done by fall 2022. So yeah, but regarding nursing, so right here on the right, which I kind of passed, that's the Pickard building. And that's where I had calculus. And I know a lot of people have their nursing classes there. Because that's where I guess nursing, the advising or their offices are stationed there. And right here you have another parking garage which you can pay to get closer to campus. And right here, this pavement, it's actually new. They finished it this semester as well. It used to just be a driveway and people would get dropped off or picked up, especially for labs, because looking forward, that's actually the planetarium building. And a lot of people have their labs there for chemistry. And some people could have their chem lab late at night, and so people would come over here and drop them off or get picked up. So yeah, and I pretty much just keep on going towards I'm heading towards the business building, and then I'm gonna make my way towards the college park of the university portion. But to my right here, I honestly forgot what that building is called, but I never had any classes there, so I'm not too familiar with the building itself. But yeah, looking forward, that's the business building. So if you're gonna be coming in for business, that's I guess that's your building. I actually did have a couple classes there. I had calculus, and I think I just had calculus, to be honest. But the actual inside of the building is actually pretty cool. And I remember, I think a couple years ago, they renovated the bottom floor, and I haven't been there since I had to calculus. So I'm not sure if they ever finished it, but they were gonna make a trading course, like for stocks and all that stuff. They have the little LCD monitors, and it's showing you the stock prices and all that stuff. But yeah, so this is another parking area, and I think you can either pay to be there, or it's for the there's apartments there, so I think they can park there. No, actually, scratch that. I don't think they can park there. I think they have their own parking. But yeah, so the business building itself, it's pretty big, I guess. You're gonna see me going around here. I don't show the apartments to the right, and I just keep going over here. This is like the back area, and this is still the business building to the left. There's a little patio there, and you can kind of go in through two of the sections, one to the left, one to the right, and you can go through your classes and all that stuff. But yeah, looking forward right here, so to the left corner right there, I don't really pass it, but that's actually a thermal plant for the university. I don't know what's going on in there. If you're doing research into that, I think they do let you go into that, but yeah, so that's that. But either or, so right here I'm looking forward. To my left, that's actually some apartments. I don't know what they're called, but those are student apartments. Oh, I think it's called Arlington Hall, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, so this is the actual I forgot what this building is called. I'm sorry. But this is the stadium right here to the right, and so this is where they usually hold graduation. This is where also they have their home games for various events, and sometimes I think they do have sometimes events there, and students get in for free. You just gotta show your little there's this little app. But yeah, so that's the building itself. The light work is pretty cool. I actually like the little lights they have right there. It's a nice building, and it's in front of the Panera Bread, which we have right here. And this side, this is this is a College Park area, and so the above is actually apartments, and I think it's split up into two apartments. So your bottom, you got your retail, and then the top, it's apartment. It's pretty much just the same thing for those two blocks until the end of this road, which is the UTA bookstore, and then there's a church. But yeah, so I cut through here, And now this is in front of the University Center, so the UC. And this is renovated. I think it finished last year, fall. I think it finished. So yeah, it came out nice. And your UC is gonna have your common areas. So there's gonna be your cafeteria. There's also a Chick-fil-A, a Panda Express. There's a sushi place, I think a boba place. There's your little marketplace you can get your snacks from. There's also a Starbucks, and there's also study area on the second floor. There's a gaming lounge. There's the postal office where you can get your mail. There's a Subway. Yeah, it's a nice place. Whenever COVID first hit, and I think they let us get back on campus. I don't remember, but I remember that was the latest building that was open, and I would go there to study on the main floor, first floor. But yeah, so here's the engineering laboratory. It's an engineering lab building to my right, and then to my left, that's Wolf Hall. Right there, if you're engineering, shout out. You're going to have a lot of classes there, and you're also going to have a lot of classes, which I'm about to show right there, which is the Netherman building. And so, yeah, this building, I had a lot of classes here, primarily on the first floor, a lot of computer science courses here, and a lot of computer science courses in Wolf Hall. But yeah, so this is the ERB, which we're looking at right here. This is the front of it. It's broken up into, I would say, 3 sections, which one is the far right, which I'm showing right there. And as far as I know, that's I think that's primarily for research, that side. And then right here in the front is a lot of office spaces, and same thing to the left, office spaces and lab rooms, different lab rooms. And the first floor, each floor has some study spaces, but nothing too big. But either or, the building itself it's nice. I like it. This is the courtyard right here I go through. I had a couple classes here at the ERB for computer science. And also the computer science department, if you're interested, is on the 6th floor of the ERB, which is literally where I'm pointing the camera right there. That's where their main office is, and that's where the advising is, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I'm aware of this date, which is spring of 2022. But yeah, so here's a little another little bike ride for Netherman Hall, and then here's your another junction, which is I think that street behind me was Abrams. But yeah, so that's pretty much the campus, and then keep going straight and you'll eventually hit the SEER and the library and all those other buildings. And so now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make my way towards well, I kind of wanted to show this area because a lot of people like to take their graduation pictures here. You'll often see it at the intersection when people get their pictures at the little tower. But after that, I'm going to make my way across the bridge from where we actually started and head on over to the other half of the campus. All right, so to wrap things up on this side of the campus, that's where the majority of the buildings are regarding classes. So you should take that into consideration if you're going to be living around here. Choose an apartment that's on this side so you don't have to walk so much. But yeah, so that's like the main buildings. That's where all the main stuff are. On the right side, I will just say this in advance. On the right side, it's going to be the Fine Arts building. I only had I think one class there, which was like speech or something for engineers. So I'm not too familiar with that building, but that's where I see people with their instruments walk up or down, and they also have the actual theater thing there. So that's that building. On the other side, there's also the architecture building, which we'll see in a minute. But right here, you'll see that these are stairs, and there's three sets of bridges that connect you to the other side. So that's how you basically get from one side to the other, or you could just go through the streets. But if you go through the streets, you have to wait for the stop signs. So I guess the bridges are better. But yeah, so also I kind of went around the main section of the campus. I didn't go down the main vein, but I think it's all right. So like I said, here I'm making my way through the bridge. This is the one in the middle, and I'm gonna just pass the Fine Arts building, and I'm gonna make my way to the architecture courtyard right here. And so I start here, and this is the courtyard, and you can see how it's starting to get dark. So we're gonna wrap this the tour down. And right here, so this is the architecture building. That's the library. That's part of the architecture building. It's a nice library. It's chill. It's small. But yeah, so forward, that's the fine arts building. We got another fountain, and yeah. So over here, this is outside of the architecture building, and right in front of me, that's the MAC, and that's basically the gym for the university. So it's open to all students. You can go in there, first floor. There's like computers, desktops. You can print. Upstairs, that's your workout stuff, and there's also classrooms like scattered in that building. But yeah, they have like the pool. Upstairs, they have the indoor track. There's a bunch of treadmills. There's a bunch of weights, things, and all that stuff. Yeah, so the Mac, it's cool. I like it. They also have basketball courts, and you can also play soccer there. And equipment, you can rent it out. You just need your math card. But yeah, so right here, this is the Commons. I liked it a lot to study. So the bottom floor, there's a Starbucks, so there's a cafeteria, and then upstairs, it's just pretty much a bunch of tables, so you can go study and do your thing there. And then up ahead, that's the newest residence hall, I guess. No, I think it's West Hall. So yeah, those are dorms. And yeah, that pretty much just wraps it up. I kind of went around the campus, so I hope this helps. And this is for spring 2022. And yeah, I hope it helps. If it helped you, you should like. And I'm gonna mainly do computer science related stuff in the future. So if you're interested in that, you should definitely subscribe. So yeah, I hope this helps.